Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Gaurang Dhawanlal and with me is Raghu with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi transfers 1,000 crore rupees to self-help groups benefiting around 16 lakh women. Also transfers over 20 crore rupees to more than 1 lakh beneficiaries under the Mukhyamantri Kanya Sumangla scheme. Security, dignity and respect ensured by double-engine government for women of UP is unprecedented, says Prime Minister. Parliament passes Election Laws Amendment Bill to link electoral roll data with Aadhaar. Prohibition of Child Marriage Amendment Bill introduced in Lok Sabha referred to Standing Committee. Ministry of Information and Broadcasting orders blocking of 20 channels on YouTube and 2 websites to curb anti-India propaganda. Centre asks state and union territories to activate war rooms to take proactive action against spread of COVID variant Omicron virus. Over 138 crore 35 lakh doses of COVID vaccine administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 98.40%. And in hockey, India loses 3-5 to Japan in Asian Champions Trophy in Dhaka. As India marches towards administering 150 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, news about the new corona variant is a cause of concern. In this situation, we appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and help others get vaccinated. Please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask. Maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing. Focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact the national helpline numbers 011 239 78046 and 1075. And now, the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that schemes and programs of the central and state governments are bringing about a big change in the lives of women and giving them security. The Prime Minister was participating in a one-of-its-kind program on women empowerment, which was attended by over 2 lakh women today. Many of them were beneficiaries of different government schemes. The Prime Minister also spoke to some women beneficiaries on the occasion. Mr. Modi said that the nation is watching how Uttar Pradesh is working for the empowerment of women and the double-engine government has given security and increased dignity of the women of Uttar Pradesh.
डबल इंजन की सरकार ने यूपी की महिलाओं को जो सुरक्षा दी है, जो सम्मान दिया है, उनकी गरिमा बढ़ाई है, वो अभूतपूर्व है। माताओं, बहनों, बेटियों का जीवन पीढ़ियों को प्रभावित करने वाला, पीढ़ियों का निर्माण करने वाला जीवन होता है। इसलिए हमने बेटी के जन्म से लेकर जीवन के चक्र में हर अवस्था में महिलाओं को सशक्त करने के लिए योजनाएं बनाई, अभियान चलाए।
Taking a dig at the previous governments, the Prime Minister said the safety and security of women were at stake during those regimes and political interference was rampant. Talking about the ambitious plan of a supplementary nutrition distribution system, Mr. Modi said this is a big step towards changing the lives of women and empowering them. He said bank sakhis have brought banking to the doorstep of people. They are doing transactions of around 75,000 crore rupees in villages of the state, added the Prime Minister.
यूपी ने बैंक सखी का जो अभियान शुरू किया है, वो महिलाओं की रोजगार के अवसरों के साथ ही उनके जीवन में भी बड़े बदलाव ला रही। सरकार से अलग अलग योजनाओं का जो पैसा खाते में आता है, ये पैसा निकालने अब बैंक नहीं जाना पड़ता। बैंक सखी की मदद से ये पैसा गांव में घर पर ही मिल जा करता है। 75,000 करोड़ रुपए का कारोबार ये गांव में रहने वाली मेरी बहनें, मेरी बेटियां कर रही है। इनमें से ज्यादातर वो बहनें हैं कुछ समय पहले तक जिनके खुद के बैंक के खाते भी नहीं थे।
Mr. Modi said that after coming into power in 2014, his government started many schemes for the betterment of the lives of girls and women. Talking about the change the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme has brought, the Prime Minister said now the girl-sex ratio is increasing in many states. He specially mentioned the initiative by his government to put women's names in property ownership and said that under the PM Awas scheme, women are getting priority in registry, and out of 30 lakh houses constructed under the scheme, 25 lakh are registered in the name of women of the concerned families. In this endeavour to support women, the Prime Minister laid the foundation stone of 202 supplementary nutrition manufacturing units and transferred an amount of 1,000 crore rupees into the bank accounts of self-help groups, SHGs, benefiting around 16 lakh women members of the SHGs. The program also witnessed the Prime Minister encouraging business correspondent Sakhis, BC Sakhis, by transferring 4,000 rupees as the first month's stipend into the account of 20,000 BC Sakhis. During the program, the Prime Minister also transferred a total amount of over 20 crore rupees to more than 1 lakh beneficiaries under the Mukhya Mantri Kanya Sumangla scheme.
यूपी में विकास के लिए, महिलाओं के सशक्तिकरण के लिए मुख्यमंत्री कन्या सुमंगला योजना की 1 लाख से ज्यादा लाभार्थी बेटियों के खातों में करोड़ों रुपये ट्रांसफर करने का सौभाग्य मिला। ये योजना गांव गरीब के लिए, बेटियों के लिए भरोसे का बहुत बड़ा माध्यम बन रही है।
The Chief Minister of the state, Yogi Adityanath, said on the occasion that according to the vision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, his government is running many programs for the welfare of the state. From today, the supplementary nutrition scheme, worth around 4,000 crore rupees, goes completely into the hands of women in Uttar Pradesh. Parliament has passed the Election Laws Amendment Bill, with the Rajya Sabha approving it today. The upper house passed this legislation amid a walkout by opposition members. Our correspondent reports that Lok Sabha had passed this bill yesterday.
The main objective of the bill is to pave the way for linkage of electoral roll data with the Aadhaar ecosystem. This will address the menace of multiple enrollment of the same person in electoral rolls at different places. Besides this, the legislation gives 4 opportunities to enroll in a calendar year as a voter upon attaining 18 years of age. Earlier, it was confined to once on the 1st of January of every year. Now, it will be the first day of the month of January, April, July and October. Apart from all these specifications, the bill has provisions of gender neutrality in regard with service voters. It also enables the requisition of any premises for election purposes. With Anand Kumar, Dharmendra Kumar Rai, AIR News, Delhi.
Replying to a debate on the Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021, Law and Justice Minister Kiren Rijiju termed it a revolutionary legislation and the need of the hour. He said it will check bogus voters and multiple entries in the electoral roll and help ensure fair elections. He questioned the opposition's apprehensions to the bill, saying it has been brought in to make the voter list transparent and fair. Mr. Rijiju added that the Aadhaar card will only be used for identification and age confirmation purposes by the returning officer.
The Prohibition of Child Marriage Amendment Bill 2021, which seeks to enhance the legal minimum age of marriage of a girl from 18 to 21 across all religion, was introduced in the Lok Sabha today amid protest by opposition members. After the introduction of the bill, it was sent to the Standing Committee of Parliament for further discussion and scrutiny. Introducing the bill in the House, the Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Zubin Irani said, the legislation will provide the right of equality to women across all religions and castes in marriages. Mrs. Irani said the introduction of the bill is historical and it reflects the strong resolution of the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, that discrimination against women will not be brooked at any cost. The minister said the bill is essential for the protection of self-respect of women and an aberration is being corrected after the 75 years of independence. She explained that for the first time in the history of the country, we are going to provide equal rights to men and women to decide their marriage. The Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has ordered blocking of 20 channels on YouTube and 2 websites spreading anti-India propaganda and fake news on the internet. The ministry has requested Department of Telecom to direct the internet service providers for blocking of news channels and portals. The channels and websites belong to a coordinated disinformation network operating from Pakistan and spreading fake news about various sensitive subjects related to India. The channels were used to post divisive content in a coordinated manner on topics like Kashmir, Indian Army, minority communities in India, Ram Mandir, General Bipin Rawat, among others. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur said the government has taken action against cross-border activities aimed to spread unrest in India by way of spreading fake news and propaganda. He said YouTube channels and web portals were violating domestic laws and strong action has been taken against them.
सीमा पार से जो कुछ प्रयास किए जा रहे हैं कि देश के अंदर भय और भ्रम की स्थिति फैलाई जाए, फेक न्यूज के माध्यम से जो एक प्रयास कुछ वेबसाइट्स और पोर्टल्स के माध्यम से किया जा रहा है, उसके खिलाफ कार्रवाई की गई है। देश के खिलाफ जो एजेंडा पाकिस्तान की ओर से चलता है, पाकिस्तान की वेबसाइट्स और वहां के जो हैंडल वाले यहां पर कर रहे हैं, उसके खिलाफ एक कड़ी कार्रवाई की गई है ताकि ऐसी ताकतों को देश के खिलाफ काम न करने दिया जाए।
The modus operandi of the anti-India disinformation campaign involved the Naya Pakistan group operating from Pakistan, having a network of YouTube channels and some other YouTube channels. Some of the YouTube channels of the Naya Pakistan group were being operated by anchors of Pakistani news channels. These YouTube channels had also posted content related to farmers' protest, Citizenship Amendment Act, and tried to incite the minorities against the government.
Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur has said that the government is going to set up 116 new FM transmitters in various states across the country. In a written reply to a question in the Lok Sabha, Mr. Thakur said Prasar Bharati has approved the setting up of FM transmitters in 111 locations and 5 mobile transmitters along the border and Ladakh. Apart from these, the minister said 236 cities have been approved for the auction of FM radio channels. The Health and Family Welfare Ministry has said that the COVID variant Omicron is 3 times more transmissible than the Delta variant. The centre has advised states and union territories to activate the war rooms and keep taking proactive action at the district or local levels. A letter written by Health and Family Welfare Secretary Rajesh Bhushan to states and union territories today said the COVID variant Delta is still present in different parts of the country. He said greater foresight, data analysis, dynamic decision-making and strict and prompt containment action is required at the local and district levels. States have been advised that there should be a constant review of emerging data regarding the population affected by COVID-19 and its geographical spread. He said hospital infrastructure and its utilization, manpower, notifying containment zones, enforcement of the perimeter of containment zones should also be reviewed.
Over 138 crore 35 lakh doses of COVID vaccines have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Union Health Ministry said more than 64 lakh 56,000 vaccine doses were administered in the last 24 hours. The ministry said 8,043 COVID patients recovered during the last 24 hours and the national recovery rate stands at 98.4%. The country reported 5,326 new COVID cases in the last 24 hours. In our bilingual live phone-in program, Corona Jagrukta series, Dr. Piyush Ranjan, Department of Medicine, AIIMS, will be with us today to answer the queries related to coronavirus. Listeners can ask questions to the expert from 9:30 p.m. on telephone numbers 011-2342-1230 and 011-2342-1764. This live program can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.nic.in and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
कोविड टीके के दोनों खुराक पाने वालों की संख्या में उत्तर प्रदेश सबसे अव्वल। यहाँ 4,13,00,000 से अधिक लोगों को टीके की दोनों डोज देकर कोविड का सुरक्षा कवर प्रदान किया गया है।
उत्तर प्रदेश में कोविड से बचाव के लिए ट्रेसिंग, टेस्टिंग, ट्रीटमेंट और टीकाकरण की नीति से ये महामारी पूरी तरह नियंत्रित है।
चिकित्सा सुविधाओं में भी उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार ने नए आयाम दिए हैं। प्रदेश में कुल 97 मेडिकल कॉलेज हो गए हैं। नए मेडिकल कॉलेजेस होने से अब प्रदेश में मेडिकल की 40,000 सीट, MBBS की 35,088 और PG की 804 सीट्स बढ़ी हैं और इससे 65,000 से अधिक रोजगार के अवसर प्रदान होंगे।
सोच ईमानदार, काम दमदार, उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार द्वारा जनहित में प्रसारित।
Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewelry. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404. Issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Jago Grahak Jago.
And now, here is a review of proceedings in Parliament today. First, from the Rajya Sabha, writer is Rajesh Ahuja of UNI. As the suspension of 12 members continued to rock the upper house today, Trinamool Congress AITC floor leader Derek O'Brien has been suspended for misconduct in the House for the rest of the session. The Rajya Sabha has passed the Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021 today. The issue of suspension of 12 opposition MPs and opposition's demand for sacking of Union Minister Ajay Kumar Mishra, whose son is the main accused in the Lakhimpur Kheri case, rocked the Rajya Sabha today, as well as leading to disruption of the zero hour and question hour. Soon after the laying of papers, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu informed the House that the Business Advisory Committee BAC of the Rajya Sabha allocated 3 hours for consideration and passing of the Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021. However, the leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge, opposed the decision of the BAC. With the opposition uproar continuing, the chairman adjourned the House till 2 p.m. When the House reassembled, the Trinamool Congress member, Derek O'Brien, raising a point of order, said that the listing of the Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021 without giving members the opportunity to study, it is undemocratic. Responding to it, Deputy Chairman Harivansh said that using his discretion, the chairman has decided to list the bill at a short notice. Amidst opposition protests, Deputy Chairman Harivansh asked Law Minister Kiren Rijiju to move the Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021 for consideration of the House. Simultaneously, several opposition members moved an amendment to refer the bill to a select committee of the Rajya Sabha. While moving it, Mr. Kiren Rijiju appealed to the opposition members to support the bill. Speaking on the bill, Sushil Kumar Modi of the BJP said that opposition members who were a part of the standing committee that recommended linking of the voter ID card with the Aadhaar had supported this bill. Law Minister said under this bill, the youth will get 4 opportunities in a year to register with the EC. Thereafter, the House passed the Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021 and rejected the amendments moved by V. Sivadasan, Derek O'Brien and Tiruchi Siva to refer the bill to a select committee. As the demand for division was not accepted, members of the opposition staged a walkout from the House in protest. The bill, which has already been passed by the Lok Sabha, has now received the assent of Parliament. Minister Bhupender Yadav raised the issue of a member of the opposition flinging the rule book at the Secretary General P.C. Modi. Speaking on the issue, Leader of the House Piyush Goyal said that the action by the opposition member was not just an insult to Parliament, but an insult of the country. Thereafter, the Deputy Chairman, Harivansh, asked Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to move the Appropriation Number 5 Bill for consideration and return to the Lok Sabha. Speaking on the bill, M. Thambidurai of the AIA-DMK said that the government should fulfill its promises made to the people. Rakesh Sinha of the BJP said that under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the present government has ensured that welfare schemes reach their intended beneficiaries. Before laying of special mentions, the presiding officer, Sasmit Patra, said that the discussion will continue tomorrow. After special mentions, referring to the incidents in the House earlier in the day, the chair said that Mr. Derek O'Brien, floor leader of the All India Trinamool Congress, resorted to grave misconduct by throwing the rulebook at the chair. The chair said that the act of Derek O'Brien is highly condemnable. Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs V. Muralidharan then moved a resolution for suspension of Derek O'Brien for the rest of the session. The resolution was passed in the House by voice vote. Thereafter, the House was adjourned for the day.
And now a review of the proceedings in Lok Sabha. The writer is Achinta Bora of PTI. Amid continuous protests by the opposition on various issues, the Lok Sabha sent two bills, namely the Prohibition of Child Marriage Amendment Bill 2021 and Chartered Accountants, the Cost and Works Accountants and the Company Secretaries Amendment Bill 2021 to standing committees of their respective ministries. Moving towards digital platforms, Speaker Om Birla launched mobile application on the Parliament proceedings for the facility of members as well as the public. When the House assembled for the day at 11 a.m., opposition members from different political parties, including Congress, DMK and the TMC, stormed into the well and began protesting, displaying placards. Amid the din, the House took up several questions during the question hour. The Speaker repeatedly urged the protesting opposition members to go back to their respective seats and let the House function properly, saying he is requesting for the last day, Antim Din. As the opposition refused to relent, he adjourned the proceedings till 2 p.m. As the House reassembled after adjournment, the opposition continued their protests and the proceedings were adjourned for the day after the bills were sent to standing committees. Earlier, amid a din, Union Minister Smriti Irani introduced the Prohibition of Child Marriage Amendment Bill 2021 that seeks to increase the legal minimum age for women to marry to 21 years, bringing it at par with that of men. Ms. Smriti Irani terming the move a decisive step in the country's history. The introduction of the bill was opposed by some members who contended that the move infringed upon several personal laws in violation of fundamental rights and demanded that it be referred to a parliamentary panel for greater scrutiny. The bill also seeks to amend 7 personal laws: the Indian Christian Marriage Act, the Parsi Marriage and Divorce Act, the Muslim Personal Law Sharia Application Act, the Special Marriage Act, the Hindu Marriage Act, and the Foreign Marriage Act. Irani said the bill also seeks to override all existing laws, including any custom, usage or practice governing the parties in relation to marriage. Soon after the introduction of the bill, the Women and Child Development Minister urged the chair to refer it to a standing committee. NCP member Supriya Sule and DMK member Kanimoli also pitched for referring the bill to a standing committee. Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs Arjun Ram Meghwal moved the Chartered Accountants, the Cost and Works Accountants and the Company Secretaries Amendment Bill 2021 to the panel. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman had introduced the bill in the lower house on the 17th of December. The bill seeks to strengthen the disciplinary mechanisms in place at the respective institutes: the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, the Institute of Cost Accountants of India and the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. However, continuous protests from opposition members ensured that the proceedings were conducted amid ruckus before the House was adjourned soon after it approved the decision to send the bills to respective standing committees. That is all in Parliament Review.
President Ram Nath Kovind today observed that the most outstanding feature of the new education policy is that it aims to promote both inclusion and excellence. Delivering the 5th convocation address at the Central University of Kerala at Pereya in Kasaragod this evening, he noted that the policy, through its varied curricula, promotes liberal and professional education. He said the NEP can become instrumental for the country to harness and reap its demographic dividend. Referring to the Union government recommending Nilambur and Thrissur towns of Kerala for being listed in UNESCO's Global Network of Learning, the President said it will ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. He lauded the empowerment of girls through education in different parts of the country and hoped that India will become a knowledge power with the rich contribution of her daughters. The President conferred degrees and diplomas to 742 students on the occasion. President Kovind will leave for Kochi later this evening, where he will witness an operational demonstration by the Southern Naval Command and visit the Vikrant cell at the Cochin shipyard tomorrow.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Varanasi and kickstart multiple development initiatives on the 23rd of this month. During his visit, the Prime Minister will lay the foundation stone of Banas Dairy Sankul at Uttar Pradesh State Industrial Development Authority Food Park at Karkhiaon in Varanasi. This will strengthen the rural economy and help farmers of the region by creating new opportunities for them. Mr. Modi will also digitally transfer about 35 crore rupees bonus to the bank accounts of more than 1.7 lakh milk producers associated with the Banas Dairy. He will also lay the foundation stone for the biogas-based electricity generation plant for the Milk Producers Cooperative Union plant at Ramnagar in Varanasi. The Prime Minister will also launch a portal and logo dedicated to the conformity assessment scheme of milk products developed by the Bureau of Indian Standards with the help of National Dairy Development Board. The Prime Minister will inaugurate multiple urban development projects in Varanasi. Projects in the education sector that will be inaugurated by the Prime Minister include the Union Education Ministry's Inter-University Centre for Teachers' Education, built at a cost of around 107 crore rupees, and a Teachers' Education Centre at Central Institute of Higher Tibetan Studies, built at a cost of over 7 crore rupees. In the road sector, the Prime Minister will lay the foundation stone of 4 to 6 lane road widening projects for Prayagraj and Bhadohi roads. To give fillip to tourism potential of the holy city, the Prime Minister will also inaugurate the Phase 1 of tourism development project related to Sri Guru Ravidas Ji Temple, Sir Govardhan, Varanasi.
In West Bengal, the ruling Trinamool Congress has retained power in the Kolkata Municipal Corporation for the third consecutive term by winning 134 out of 144 wards. The BJP has won 3 wards, while the left parties and the Congress have won 2 wards each. Independent candidates won in the other 3 wards. AITC Supremo Mamata Banerjee said a meeting will be held on the 23rd of December to elect the mayor. Opposition parties have criticized the State Election Commission and the state administration for playing partisan roles on the day of polling. In West Bengal, at least 3 persons have been feared killed and another 40 seriously injured in a massive fire at the Haldia Indian Oil Corporation refinery. According to police sources, the fire broke out this afternoon during a shutdown. 4 fire tenders were sent to douse the fire, which is under control, as reports last came in.
India has expressed concern over the detention of Indian fishermen from Tamil Nadu by Sri Lankan authorities. 68 fishermen and 10 boats have been taken into custody. Official spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said officials from the Consulate General of India in Jaffna have met the detained fishermen and are providing all necessary support. He said High Commission in Colombo has taken up the issue of early release of the Indian fishermen and boats with the government of Sri Lanka. Defending champions India today suffered a 3-5 defeat against Japan in the semi-final of the Asian Champions Trophy men's hockey tournament at Dhaka. After the defeat, India will face Pakistan for the bronze medal playoff and Japan will face South Korea in the final.
And now, before we close, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi transfers 1,000 crore rupees to self-help groups benefiting around 16 lakh women. Also transfers over 20 crore rupees to more than 1 lakh beneficiaries under Mukhyamantri Kanya Sumangla scheme. Security, dignity and respect ensured by double-engine government for the women of UP is unprecedented, says Prime Minister. Parliament passes the Election Laws Amendment Bill to link electoral roll data with Aadhaar. Prohibition of Child Marriage Amendment Bill introduced in Lok Sabha referred to Standing Committee. Ministry of Information and Broadcasting orders blocking of 20 channels on YouTube and 2 websites to curb anti-India propaganda. Centre asks states and union territories to activate war rooms to take proactive action against spreading of COVID variant Omicron virus. Over 138 crore, 35 lakh doses of COVID vaccine administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 98.40%. And in hockey, India loses 3-5 to Japan in Asian Champions Trophy in Dhaka. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.